Good day, everyone. My name is Valentine Harris, and I'm the author of this book called My Black Vote Doesn't Matter. Okay? I named this book for a reason, though. The reason why I decided to name it like that, I talked to a lot of my people that I know over the years, right? Not only black folks, but white folks too, but mainly a lot of black folks I've talked to, right? And a lot of them don't vote, never voted, and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to realize why we don't exercise our right to vote. I do believe our people forefathers, right, fought for us to be able to vote. And I just decided in my black because a lot of us as black people, we don't really go there and actually exercise our right to vote. It doesn't matter your party affiliation, okay? You know what I mean? But I always firmly believe, voting, right? It's our God-given right to go there and exercise our voice. Because when we vote, that's our voice right there. You know what I mean? If you don't have like a politician, we don't want like what a politician is doing. I'm gonna take it to the ballot box to get rid of that politician, right? Okay, so this book, My Black Vote Doesn't Matter, is available on Amazon. Okay, so right now I'm about to share my screen. I'm about to go into this book a little bit, talk about it. Okay, so I hope y'all can see the slide. Okay, so let me go. Let's see some back to the. Okay, just like I said, right? My Black Vote Doesn't Matter. A Political Analyst by Valentine Harris. Okay, so let's talk about the introduction slide, right? Okay, so I got my little notes right here. Right here, I got my little notes so I can keep on topic. Okay, all right. So the presentation provide an overview of the key themes in My Black Vote Doesn't Matter, right? Okay, so in the book, I do discuss the importance of voting in American history, how important it is, what I mean, for us to really go out there and show these politicians that we mean business, right? Okay, challenges faced by black voters, right? Disenfranchisement by systematic barriers, right? Because I always believe if our vote does not matter or wasn't that important, why would the powers to be try to stop us from voting? Why would they even try to do that? Huh? Think about that, okay? Because they're afraid. Because they're afraid if we start thinking as a collective whole, you know what I mean, and we start paying more attention to what's going on, we can stop a lot of these politicians from doing what they're doing by creating these laws out there that could really hurt us in the long run. Maybe not us or me that much, but our children and our grandchildren. Okay, so I also talk about voting as an act of empowerment and historical significance, right? Book discuss that as well. The book explores political strategies, black conservatism, and voter suppression. Like I was saying earlier, why would they even try to suppress our vote if our vote did not matter? Yeah. Okay, so in chapter one, I go more mainly deeply, right? And let's see some slide three, right? The power of the black vote, right? The power of the black vote, the historical significance of the black vote. Okay, so the chapter discusses the significance of the black vote and shaping American politics. It examines key moments in history where black voter participation influenced major elections. Remember, black voter participation influenced major elections and explored the continuing efforts to suppress or control the voting bloc. Okay, so the impact of civil. Okay, we also talk about in the book the impact of the civil rights movements on voting rights. Okay, I'll listen to Roland Martin, right? A little clip on Roland Martin. I don't know if y'all. Roland Martin is basically a political commentator. The guy has his own show. You can watch it. You can watch the show on YouTube, right? I was just listening to him today, and he was saying right now, he's saying it does basically right, and I'm paraphrasing really. It really matters who you vote for. Because right now they got four justices on the Supreme Court right now. They're trying to roll back, you know what I mean, the 1964 voting rights, the Civil Rights Act. Okay, they're trying to roll all that back. Four people on the Supreme Court. You understand that, right? So that's why it matters who you vote for. Who it matters who's in that White House. Because you can say you can vote for this like a president of the United States, right? Whomever you vote for, the president. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat, right? A president normally will only do between 4 to 8 years, right? You know how much damage a president could do. Imagine the president appointing someone on the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court is a lifetime appointment. You understand me? Even if the president in that president's mind, the president is probably not be thinking all the 9 times out of 10 they are, but they might not be thinking a certain way, right? They might not be thinking a certain way. Imagine that. And they put someone on the Supreme Court, and the same person on the Supreme Court, the same person on the Supreme Court 5 years from now could kick back a law that the Republicans, Democrats, whomever, be trying to get rid of. Just like what they did to affirmative action. When they kick back the abortion, a woman's right to abortion, all the stuff, whether you agree with abortion or not, right? It's up to everybody. Believe some people are Christian, but how I believe in that, who am I to judge the next person? That's between them and their God. That's how I look at it. Okay. So I don't know why people begin upset if someone want to have an abortion. That's a different topic, but you know what I mean. But it's up to them and their Lord and their doctor. That's all I gotta say about that. It's up to them. Okay. So the book also goes into the modern implications of the black political participation too. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of black like people out there, don't say whether the church, a lot of activists that's out there that's doing what they're doing to engage. Okay, so now the legacy of Barry Goldwater, right? I had to actually put him in this book. I was reading a book, a couple books I read about Barry Goldwater. One book is called "The Loneliness of the Black Republicans," right? And the other book, if I'm not mistaken, is called something about the grift about the Black Republicans, about grifting, right? So both books are really good books. And I have to talk about, well, when I was reading about Barry Goldwater, right? You know what I mean? I had to really talk about him in the book because when he comes to, because we all know at one point, a lot of black people used to vote Republican. And the reason why, according to the book, right, that these books, why Barry Goldwater, why black people started going to the Democratic Party, because Barry Goldwater was a Republican, and he was a known racist, and he said a lot of stuff. He was against the 1964 Civil Rights Act, anything that would benefit black people that they go put into law publicly. He was against that stuff. Okay, and black people wasn't standing for that. So guess what they did? You know what I mean? That's why they overwhelmingly voted for JFK back in the 60s. Okay? That's why a lot of black people went from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party. And right now, during the last election, the 2024 election, I actually starting to see a little shift right now. You know what I mean? That black people slowly but surely is probably going back to the Republican Party, right? Because it increased according to some polls, right? It actually increased about 2% than the 2020 election. 2% of more black people voted Republican in this election, right? But to me, this is how I feel about that part. We're not going to really tell until the next presidential election to really gauge. Is black folks, is actually more black people, are they really going back to the Republican Party? We're going to see about that in 2028, right? Maybe in 2026. Who knows? But we'll see, right? Okay, yeah. Just like I was saying on the slide, his opposition to the Civil Rights Act and the impact on black voters, and how his ideology contributed to shift in black political affiliation. Right? Yeah. So the chapter that's what chapter 2 talk about. Now chapter 3, right, talk about modern black conservatism. Right? So the key black conservative figures, right? Byron Donalds, right? That was in the book I was reading. It's called The Grift. You know what I mean? About the Black Republican Party, and Tim Scott, right? You know, those two people I know. Not I don't know them, but I see them on TV all the time. So a lot of stuff that everything in my book is factual, right? But a lot of those things that when I'm writing about Tim Scott and Byron Donalds, it's like I was living it because I was seeing them on TV talking about the stuff that I actually wrote about it in this book, right? But J.C. Watts, though, you know what I'm saying? He didn't stick it down. He's doing. I had to look him up. Live a good quiet life, but you know what I mean? He was another black conservative, right? And this is how I feel, right? When it comes to conservative, liberal, moderate, and stuff like that. I believe we need all of that stuff. You know what I mean? If a person conservative, if a person liberal, if a person moderate, so what? I believe that's a great thing about being an American, being in this country. You understand me? Is the diverse political affiliation that is in this country, right? You understand me? Because imagine if everybody was the same, right? Life would be boring. Things would be boring, right? You know what I mean? I like to see black conservative, uh, black liberal, black moderate, whatever, right? That's a good thing about this country. The only thing, like especially when it comes to like the politicians, right? Whether they are it's just for them just to be fair across the border when they're creating laws, right? Don't create laws that's gonna suppress people, but try to help people. You understand me? That's where we come in as voters, right? Okay, okay. These people, right? They rise in politics and influence on black voter perception and the challenges and criticism faced by black conservatives because you know a lot of times, especially as black people, right? Black if they're conservative and in the public eye, a lot of times they do get criticized though. A lot of them do. Because a lot of times, especially as black people, sometimes when some of these conservative speaks out loud, sometimes I know sometimes I'll be feeling that way. They be feeding the white man narrative, right? So like when Byron Donalds one time was in a barber shop, Byron Donalds was in a barber shop, and he said during the Jim Crow era, it was better for black folks during the Jim Crow era, right? He said that, and he got backlash for that. You understand me? Because stuff like that is feeding the white man narrative, right? But but how he explained it, and the reason why he said it, right, was because you know what I'm saying the black fathers was in the house more back then. You understand me? But he didn't take in consideration during the crack era and how during that time black people were targeted in the ghetto. But that's another stuff. That's another topic, right? So in chapter 4, I go into some great political titans, man, Maxine Waters and James Clyburn. And, you know, both of them is still working today. You know what I mean? I believe they are like our elders in the political realm, right? These two people, I love when they come on TV, I'll listen to them speak. You know what I mean? Because they have a lot of knowledge together. And I say Maxine Waters' contributions to black political empowerment, James Clyburn influence on the Democratic Party and black voters, right? And then the future of the black political leadership. Okay, so chapter 5, I talk about Trump, black voters and conservatism, right? So Trump's outreach efforts to black voters, yeah, there's a lot of black voters that gravitated towards Donald Trump. You know what I mean? You know, as they would say, Donald Trump is a very polarizing figure. So, so a lot of people do gravitate to him. The response from the black community, I talk about that. The historical and future implications of black conservatism, right? Because you know, black people have always been conservative, though. But a lot of times we don't vote that way because 82% of black people vote Democrat. So a lot of times black folks do not they don't vote that way, but a lot of them are, especially our grandmas, man. The grandma, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Even in my age group, you know what I mean, Gen X people, you understand me, and the baby boomers, right? You know what I mean, A lot of us are conservative, right? We might have voted away, but a lot of us are. Okay, but the book chapter 5 discuss that. Okay, so chapter 6. I mean, talk about the KKK and the political influence, the historical evolution of the KKK, the organization's influence in politics and law enforcement, the lasting effects of racist policies on black voter suppression. Now, all is real right here. Everything I discuss is real. And the reason why I put the KKK in there, in this, right? Because, after slavery happened, and then the KKK came out trying to suppress black people and lynch black people all the way toward the Jim Crow stuff. So we all know that, right? But what a lot of them started to do, right, once the laws, once the government started creating laws, so you can't kill black people no damn more. You need to stop killing black people, right? Well, the government started, well, what did damn KKK members start doing? They started putting on police uniform, right? So they could legalize, legalize, legally. You understand me? They started running for offices, for public office, so they could what? Create laws to suppress you. It happened in my book. I talk about that, right? You know what I mean? Because they know they can't do things illegally anymore. They can't lynch you or murder you in the streets anymore and treat you like a dog, like dogs anymore. You understand me? So they put on the white sheet, put on a suit and tie. And the reason why I decided to do that, I always imagine, right? Poor people, black folks mainly. Imagine guys from the street, right? Yeah, you might not have much, right? But guess what? Imagine if you say, you know what, though? I'm tired of my daggone neighborhood the way it is. I'm tired of it, right? I'm not tired of complaining about my daggone neighborhood. Let me do something about it. I'm going to run for office. I always believe that. If we start having that mentality, trust me, yeah, things will start changing and people will start taking it more serious. You understand me? Cause I just think about this mayor a couple years ago, 18 years old of some city. 18 years old kid, black boy, black young man, 18, became the youngest mayor in American history. A black guy. Think about that. So if an 18-year-old kid could do that, imagine if we, as a society, right? You know what I mean? Somebody that's I see in the neighborhood that can speak really well, you know what I mean? Encourage the person, if you don't mind public speaking, to run for public office, man. I think that's a good thing. That's why I decided to talk about the KKK, stuff like that. Because if they could do it, even back then, a lot of them didn't have money too. They were poor too. A lot of them are poor. You know what I mean? A lot of the KKK members might do regular jobs. A lot of them are damn poor. You know what I'm saying? Because the rich white man, he's not gonna do that shit because they have a lot to lose. All right. Okay. So also chapter 7, I discussed in the evolution of black political power, the journey toward the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the role of black churches and religious leaders in politics, challenges and disillusionment among modern black voters. Right. So yeah, this book talks about all this stuff, how the journey toward like voting right, like all so many great leaders, man. If it wasn't for the people like Martin Luther King and other leaders, if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be a Voting Rights Act, at least back then. You understand me? Right? And the role of the churches too, even and I do believe the black church to me is very important, right? I don't believe the black church should tell a person who to vote for. I don't believe no black church should really endorse a candidate. I don't believe that. You understand me? I really don't believe it. I don't believe people should really endorse people. Like me, if a famous person endorses a person, right? I'm not gonna vote for that person because somebody famous endorser. I'm gonna make sure I do my homework, and that's the type of mindset we need to start having, right? But I do believe the church should play a role, though. All churches, especially all the black churches, should really play a role to encourage the congregation about how important their vote is, their vote are. You understand me? That's how I feel. As the preacher, as a pastor of the church, I do believe every now and then, 5-10 minutes, last 5-10 minutes, and you don't have to wait to uh, to uh, to voting season to talk about it. Okay. By the way, okay. So next slide. The media and the black vote. How mainstream media and social media influence black vote behavior. The role of misinformation in shaping political engagement and key election shifts driven by media narratives, right? Okay, so media is very important when it comes to these people influence. Because sometimes, depending on what you like to watch, you know, whether the Fox News, the CNN, you know what I mean, the MSNBCs, depending on who you watch. You understand me? A lot of times, they're not calling it down the middle like they should. You understand me? And a lot of times, that can shape your mind, you know what I mean, if you're not doing research. Like me personally, a lot of people, I like watching CNN. I'm telling you why I like to watch CNN. You understand me? Because certain of the people on there, when I watch them, people like Abby Phillips, Laura Coates, when she come on, Jake Tapper, you understand me? Breonna Keeler, those people, Caitlin Collins, you know what I mean? Rahal Solomon, Audrey Cornish, right? Those people, when I watch them, I know they're gonna be fair with whomever is on the panel, the act president to, whether Republican or Democrat, they're gonna take it down the middle. Whether you want to believe this or not, you just need to pay attention, right? They're gonna ask these people the tough dagging questions sometimes. See what I'm saying? The real I've noticed that, right? And one thing I like about it too. Sometimes some of the shows they have like panels on the show, like maybe 4 people, and it could be 2 Democratic person and 2 Republican person, and they go head to head about different policies. I like to watch stuff like that because I'm like this. I might agree with this Republican person that say something like, damn, that person right. This Democrat person might say something, I'm like, nah, he ain't right, and vice versa. You know what I mean? I like people with different. I like watching TV and TV shows like that. People that have different perspective on different situations. I like that. I don't like it when everybody agrees. Everybody can't agree. I don't like that stuff. You know what I mean? But anyway, the media though um, played a very valid role in shaping people's minds sometimes. You know what I mean? Unless you want one of the ones that really do your homework and research these candidates. Because right now, if whatever your congressperson is, right, whomever your congressperson is, you can just Google their voting record and they tell you everything that they have voted for, yes or yeah or nay. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you can make up your mind from there. If it's really good for you or not. You know what I mean? Depending on what you believe in. Okay, so local politics and the black vote. That's another thing too, right? GOP strategies to attract the black voters, right? So not only the national politics, right? National voting, very important is the local vote. To me, that's probably more important than the national vote because your local person, your mayor, your governor, your commissioner, whomever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say your city council, all the people, right? Whomever, right? The other one, your state legislators, those are the ones that are shaping policies. You understand me? That can affect you. You know what I mean? See what's going on now? When they're trying to when they're going to get rid of the Department of Education. It's bad enough that a lot of black schools aren't getting the funding that they need to them to do what they're supposed to be doing, right? Imagine when it goes back to the states. I have a feeling it's gonna get worse for a lot of not only black people, poor people, period. When it comes to these schoolings, I really have a feeling, but we'll see though. All right, okay. So chapter 10, right? The structural and financial influence, right? The impact of gerrymandering on black representation, the campaign finance challenges, grassroots fundraising, right? Let's talk about finance for a second, right? If you notice, right, when Donald Trump was running for president, imagine all those billionaires that was donating to his damn campaign. It wasn't only Elon Musk. It was the female billionaires, like quite a few billionaires that was donating to his main campaign. So sometimes I believe, imagine if we, as poor people, average American, started doing stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? Because sometimes money talks. So let's be real about that. You know what I mean? And we say, you know what, though? We need to find some candidates that are going to try to create laws that could help us, poor people, right? And then we start donating to them. You know what I'm saying? Let it be known, hey, you know what I'm saying? We need you to do such X, Y, and Z. You understand me? Why do you think all the people that get paid by the NRA, you know what I mean? By the NRA, why they can't um create a common sense gun law, right? Because the people are getting paid by these damn people. Trust me, you can look it up. A lot of common people are getting it, right? So why can't we do that as poor people too? Donate a small amount of money. You know what I mean? But we make it be known. You know what I mean? We go donate to the campaign and donate to your stuff. But this needs to get happen. And then if things don't happen, guess what? Get rid of these people. Okay? By voting. All right. Okay, so of course, shifting the political landscape. Okay, I talk about yeah, right. The changing demographic and ideology shift in black politics. I told you I said earlier in this thing how the last election, right? Republicans, I mean, 2% of black people, 2% more of black people voted Republican in the last election that happened. The influence of cultural figures, right? Like the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club, the radio talk show that I listen to a lot. You know what I'm saying? They dib and dab into politics. You know what I mean? Sometimes. I mean, how important that is. Hip hop, because I love hip hop. How important I do believe hip hop could be if if I'm not saying like, oh, you vote for this or do this, but be a little bit more political in the music a little bit, talk about the injustice things like the old school rappers used to do, like KRS-One, Public Enemy, rappers like those, freaking Ice Cube. You know what I mean? After he left NWA, he come up with his first few albums, went political a little bit. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, right? We need that back in our music today. You know what I mean? Bob Marley, you know what I mean? One of the biggest reggae star ever. Was very political in his music. You know what I'm saying? I talk about Candace Owens in the book. Okay, I even talk about the legacy of Reagan, the Reagan era, and its impact on Black America. And one thing I didn't know about Ronald Reagan when he ran for president in 1980, that he went to New York. He went to actual New York and Harlem where all the black people at to try to get some of the black votes, like Donald Trump doing today. He did. He got some black votes too. He did. You understand me? And if you're my age group, you know. Yeah, Donald Trump got some black votes. I mean, Ronald Reagan got some of those black votes, right? And guess what Ronald Reagan did when he got in office? Create policies to mess your black asses up. Let's be real about that situation. People don't want to talk about it, right? Like the 86 crack laws. You understand me? You know what I mean? Plausible deniability about the CIA and the crack, or the dump damn cocaine crack in the black neighborhood. Those are the conversations that we need to have. You understand me? But plausible deniability by Reagan. Hey, I don't know what they was doing. Oh, you be damn president, you don't know what the hell they were doing. Come on, let's talk about it. But people don't want to have the conversation. You understand me? All right, so another part, then my conclusion and my final thoughts, right? The black vote remains a powerful but contested force in American politics. The importance of recognizing historical trends to inform future political engagement and encouraging informed voting and active politician participation, right? So I do believe we should encourage each other to really get out and vote. You know what I'm saying? Register to vote. You don't have to wait till the voting season to register to vote. I do believe it's very important that we exercise our right to vote. I really believe that very, very important about that situation. Because when we don't vote, you understand me? These people, the powers to be, will create laws under your damn nose. You think they might give you a few dollars, but they could create laws that can impact your life, impact your children's life, your grandkids' lives. They could do that stuff. And you know who's gonna benefit the most? The rich people. The poor white people not gonna benefit because they're poor. They don't give a damn, right? In my book, I also discussed the Bacon Rebellion. You need to look that up. The Bacon Rebellion. How how poor white people the Indians, Native Americans, right? Indentured servants back then, they call them. They all used to get along together, right? Get along great. And the rich white people knows that shit. The rich white folk knows that. Yeah, damn, these white people getting along good with the damn niggas, with the Indians. They're getting real good at that stuff, man. Well, what we need to do now? You know what I'm saying? And then they start figuring, or the poor white people start figuring, hey, the damn rich white people, you know what I mean? They're living better than me. I'm white like them. Living better than me. So guess what they did? They had an uprising. 1676. They had an uprising. Bacon rebellion called Bacon. Just had Nathaniel Bacon. So I have a damn uprising. It was going good for a while, then he died. And then governor, you know what I mean, they had to take control back. Then they execute people, right? So what they did after that, they're like all the rich white people came together and said, look, man, we can't have this crap happen again. These damn poor white people, man. The poor white folks, trailer park white people. Well, it wasn't trailer park back then though. But I'm just saying, right? Man, we can't let that crap happen no more, brother. They're probably smoking the cigar, having their little wine or the whiskey, getting drunk. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, let's figure out something. Let's do divide and conquer. Huh? What's going on today? Divide and conquer. Let's tell these white folks we're white. We're better than these black people. We are better than these niggas. That's what they were saying, right? And that's what they did. You know what I mean? They convinced poor white people that the white so they're better than anybody of color. Look, 400 years later, damn near, still the same stuff. Okay, so my book really talk about stuff like that. But anyway, my black vote doesn't matter, man. Please, available on Amazon. Available on Amazon. Hold on, I'm gonna stop the sharing real quick. Okay, so available on Amazon. Okay, and if you don't mind, please go ahead on and get yourself a copy. Okay, and I appreciate the attention. I hope you enjoy the slide. Okay, this PowerPoint slide, this little class I was talking about. All right, and everybody enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend.